should be live when I said
And
that.
we are live.
We are not live. Hey, we just missed it. Thank God. What's up, MPX addicts? Welcome to the MPX Rehab. I am your host, the hashtag certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always.
The voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And thank Gotch for wrestling.
I just like pointing out I got one. I'm one of the cool people, remember?
I'm used to people hating me at this point. And you know what? I was asked about it later from somebody, and I was just like, you realize how creepy it would be for me to be upset that a bunch of teen girls didn't give me a present?
It wasn't even that. I'm still shocked people actually listen to us, especially kids. So,
no, it was like when they came up and asked you about that, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I started seeing them on the internet. I'm like, oh, I know what's happening.
That makes sense. I can get workers watching us, but when actual addicts or fans, no, why are you listening to me? Don't do that.
We are not role models.
If a parent's listening to you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I tried to clean my language up a little bit, but it's hard.
Yeah, well, this is MPX Rehab. Who gives a fuck? But, like I said, thank God for wrestling. This last week of wrestling has been just, I don't know what's going on in WWE because I don't pay attention to them, but AEW, holy shit.
Orton's fighting Lashley, I think.
Oh. Okay. You mean Orton's in the title picture again? Shock.
One of my favorites.
Surprise.
I don't care. He's still a tag champ with Riddle, I think, though.
Yes. Do you have something you would like to say, sir?
Apparently, Kofi and Xavier did Hall and Nash as the outsiders, so that works.
Okay. Cool.
That's pretty much it. I didn't really pay attention there, but no, there was a lot of other good wrestling going on.
Oh yeah. Not the least of which being, of course, MPX's Open Hostility, which was a hell of a show.
Yes. And it is what the name said. It was very hostile.
Ooh, yeah. Very much so. We started out, obviously, we said it on Mainline, and we'll go ahead and say it here. Our hearts and prayers and everything like that go out to the family, friends, and fans of Daphne Unger. And just, if you have friends who are struggling, if you are struggling, reach out. Make sure everyone's okay.
Yep.
Life's too short to, lose it like that.
Yeah, it really is. And it's one of those where we even, to start the show, not even just that one, we had Jackson come out and give a very heartfelt speech that was real. And that's one of those that
it was a double whammy for him.
In wrestling, when you get something real like that, it means a lot more.
Yeah.
And you could tell because, one, if you know Jackson, you know his background, his story, everyone immediately knew that was kind of real. And I'm very glad they didn't do the stereotypical where Jerome comes out and attacks him and cuts off his time and stuff like that, because it was needed. You could tell even Jackson needed to get that off his chest.
Yeah.
He needed just to talk and say that. So that was great that MPX allowed him to do that.
Yeah. And just love each other, be kind, be loving, everything like that. And like Jackson says, remember, you are loved.
Yes.
But going on with the show, we started the show with the first match being Paul Titan coming out and taking on the Monster Hunter Matthew Palmer. And I was not expecting this to be the first match.
Trying to get in my Booker mind of how, because again, we've always said before, MPX has laid out their matches so great. Mm-hmm. I always try to figure out how they'll lay out the card, and that was one of the ones I figured we could open with, because you always get the crowd hot open stuff like that. It was either him and Palmer, or it was Adam and Red, because
Adam and Red could have done it. Yeah,
because either one of them, they're very different. You've got Palmer and Titan, who are the bigger names that people are going to be excited for. Then you got Adam and Red, who are just going to tear the house down with how good they are in the ring.
And they proved it, but that's later.
Titan, I would love to see Titan again.
Yes.
He has such a great presence, and while yes, I love tag teams, I think him being single is amazing.
I've only seen the Pillars of Destiny once, so...
I was going to say, I think we've seen them in MPX maybe twice, but yeah, there was once for sure. Good tag team, don't get me wrong, but Titan he's got a great presence.
Yeah, he's a force on his own. He doesn't need
it's great. And then, of course, Palmer, which I love Palmer's look. I was talking about that this weekend. I love how he went to the trunks. A lot of people, don't necessarily like that. I do. I think he pulls it off great. I think he looks good in it.
I noticed there's a lot of wrestlers who seem to be moving towards the trunks lately.
Yeah, and it's one of those where even Jericho had talked about it when he changed in WWE, and it was one of those where it's like, oh, Vince likes legs, and he did it, and he did. He looks good in it.
Yeah.
And some can pull it off, and some can't. And I think Palmer did all right in it. So it's it looked good. The match itself was good. There's a couple of flubs here and there. Titan missing the catch on the outside, which immediately I worried for because they were down for a while, so I thought he might have hurt his knee. And then the second time they Palmer kind of overshot.
Yeah.
But no, I thought the match was good. I thought it ended well because it's one of those where, okay, how can Palmer take down the Titan without making the Titan look weak?
Roll up.
Exactly, and I thought it was good. It wasn't necessarily full on clean with like a super kick or even making him tap with. I don't even, and he may prove me wrong, but I don't think Palmer could have hit the sharpshooter bow breaker, whatever he calls it. On Titan, that would have been very interesting to see. But no, the roll up I thought was great because honestly, I would love to see Titan again, and I think this left the door open. Granted, if MPX management can work a thing with him to come back, I think this is a good way to keep him somewhat strong if he does come back.
Well, he's all over the place to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like it's going to be one of those ones where we'd like to get him, but much like T-Ray and a bunch of the other guys.
I was going to say T-Ray, Mercer, all these other great talents we get
Adam
every now
usually,
and then.
But,
Adam, which we'll talk about later. It looks like we might have Adam for a while, so I'm excited.
But, Renfield was missing.
Well, Azkaban killed him.
It's like, so I guess they're going a little more permanent with that one.
Azkaban and Alakazam killed him, and that was the other thing. You saw Palmer selling the effects of that match with Keegan, so I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, because MPX knows how to do long-form storytelling.
Shocking in wrestling nowadays.
I know, right? But then after that, we had Joe Angelo Garcia taking on Remedy. For which, sorry to Remedy.
Yeah.
Not Remedy, to Joe.
Exactly. Which we immediately saw when it was announced. I was like, oh, why are they massacring the poor boy?
I'll cry at your funeral.
But no, it was, again, I think it shows how good Joe is that they made it so entertaining, which is, in which all honesty, which in no disrespect to Joe, it's kind of a squash match. Remedy is one of, if not one of the most protected men in MPX.
Well, it was like honestly, the only way I saw Joe winning that match is like straight up Lou Albano type stuff, you know?
Yeah, if
the most dirty, underhanded crap ever.
I was gonna say if James Johnson was there, it might have made a little difference. You know, taking that spray bottle to the eyes. You know, Remedy doesn't like water. That's a known fact. Spray bottles are his kryptonite. So,
sure.
But no, it was one of those. It was great. I love Remedy's just presence. Like we've always talked about how there are some wrestlers, as soon as they hit the curtain, addicts immediately are drawn to.
Oh yeah.
Or they command the crowd. Like we always talked about Larry. Larry's one of those, whenever he hit the crowd with Menage a Trois music, you were gravitated towards him. Whether you loved him or hate him, your eyes were on him. Yeah. And it's the same with Remedy. Remedy comes through that curtain and you immediately just either are on your feet cheering, which for the most part I would say 85% of the addicts are, or you've got the other part that are just more intense of, oh, who is this giant guy? Yeah. And I thought it was great. And again, like we've said before, Remedy is one of the few that he tells you to stand up, you stand up. Yeah. Not many, definitely faces control a crowd like Remedy does. Yeah. Like we always talk about how Schaefer and Exodus control when they're heels. Remedy controls when he's a face, and it's great. Everything he does in that ring, his presence, his aura, his look. Like I know he's tweeted and Facebooked back and forth about trying to get back in tights, and man, the jeans and t-shirt work for what he is right now. Yeah, but unfortunately, there are a lot of people who look at that and go, well, if you're wearing that, you're instantly a trash bag wrestler, regardless of the level of talent or skill or anything like that. Well, I mean, you can even look at Sky did something very recent where he's come out in jeans and working jeans, mind you. He did make them to where they could stretch and everything like that. Yeah. And, you know, now he's in full get-ups with either the Texas Chainsaw apron and Butcher suit, or he's in the Insane Asylum suit, which both work right and they fit his character. That's the only thing I guess with Remedy is if it fits his character, then okay, fine, it looks good. But to me, the jeans and the t-shirt, it fits. It fits that presence and that aura that he's trying to do.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, it's like, if that's what he wants to do, more power to him. But, you know,
I mean, it's not going to change what he is in the ring. And the ring is still fucking great.
Yeah.
I love the addition, and we saw great photos from Brian Pulver of the high and by on the wrist tape. Just little things like that people really do need to take notice of, because especially with pictures like that, they make it look so cool.
Yeah. It's like some people notice the details, other people don't.
Yeah. You know, there's us who overanalyze it and pick up every little detail.
And then we'll have people going, it's like, how did you catch that? And it's just what we do.
Just years of watching wrestling and loving the little things. But yeah, no, always love having Remedy and love having Joe in. I hope they both come back very soon, to quote Remedy.
I like having Joe as a constant fixture at MPX. I
Yes.
mean, he's a good mid-card heel. He deserves more than he's gotten, in my opinion. But, you know,
there was that time earlier this year where I really was hoping and pushing for him to get that MPX title shot, because he's one of those, I think, does deserve it when you look at
whether he won it or
career,
not.
exactly.
Just putting him in the picture.
Where his career has been and gone from the old days of MPX with Trust Fund to now. And Joe really proven that he's not just a stable guy. He's not just a tag team guy. He is a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I would love to see him come back, rebound from obviously what I think 95% of people knew what was going to happen. And also, like I said, it's always great to have Remedy in. It's one of those where Remedies has one loss against Brixton, and I think that's it. So it'd be interesting.
Oh, he lost. I think he lost to Matthew Palmer too.
Him and Palmer fought?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. It was like towards the beginning of the Monster Hunter gimmick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, having him come back, like I said, he's one of the more protected ones. Having him come back and kind of do a small little run, I think would be really cool. So.
Oh, and
we'll
ACH.
See.
But then again, it's ACH.
Yeah, that was one of the first times we saw him, I think. Maybe his second appearance. So, yeah, that amazing brainbuster. I miss ACH, and no one should ever question how fucking strong he actually was.
Yeah, no kidding. But speaking of Sky, since we were talking about him, the next match was Chip Mandalay, high-stakes Chip Mandalay, taking on the boy band behemoth Mikey B.
No.
I'm sorry, after that catch, just doing the thing that is like it's supposed to be the big dude.
Some asshole chanted better than Titan. I don't know who the fuck that was. But no, it's that match, I think, it is no disrespect, but I think that match took a lot of people by surprise and was probably match of the night.
It's because Chip is so new to the
Chip is so new,
addicts.
Mikey's so new. Like this is really the first time. This is the best Chip has looked.
Yes, absolutely.
We've seen Chip here and there, kind of sporadically. We've seen glimpses, not a lot. The athleticism Chip showed here, and the athleticism Mikey even showed more than he already has, was phenomenal. These two men were so great. Like I said, it was match night. Everyone was on the edges because, again, semi two faces. Because we don't really know where Chip's at, because we haven't seen him or not.
It's that whole thing of Chip's trying to find where he is.
Right. So having quote unquote two faces go at it, a lot of addicts were kind of in between, like, what to expect. And I think that's part of what made it so great was no one really knew what to expect.
Yeah. And they definitely didn't expect what happened.
Oh no, not at all. And it's I'm happy because we have our murdering monster heel back. And it
was nice to have a short run of Sky being a face, but yeah,
it's one of those where there are some that are, and I'll talk about it later when we get into the main. There's some that are just, they look awkward when they're trying to be a face. Sky didn't look awkward being a face, don't get me wrong, because Sky's one of those that no matter really how he is, it's kind of like Orton and Austin.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, there's gimmick and stuff never really changes. Maybe a little tweak of, he comes out and saves this person.
Yeah.
But with Sky coming out and murdering Mikey and Chip, we have our monster heel back.
Well, he didn't quite murder Chip because Chip's he's taking Chip on.
He didn't, but the elevation him and Chip got on that Death by Stereo.
Yeah.
That was great. And then obviously the Travis was in my way for most of it, but the death by stereo on the barricade, from what little I saw, looked very, very devastating.
That's one of those ones where you have to applaud not just Sky but Mikey too, because damn.
When he was setting up, I was like, oh, he's going to drag him over the barricade onto the concrete to do death by stereo. And then no, he's like, nope, screw it, just on the barricade. I'm like, oh, that probably worse.
Yeah. Like, ow.
But no, it was, like I said, I'm, of course, being a Sky fan, super excited to have the murderous monster heel back. It's just one of those, it's where, what do we do now if, say, him and Dimitri are back in the same building?
Yeah,
because I don't see,
is XV over, or
right? Is XV, like, is Dimitri going to go that way too? Which I don't. It's hard to see Dimitri do that.
Yeah.
I have seen it. It's just not. Again, there's the people who are great at face and great at heel, and there's some who can do both.
Yeah.
And to me, I've seen Dimitri clips of heel here and there, and it's just not. He's too. And it might be a little biasness.
Yeah.
But he's just he's too funny. He's too good of a person to be that.
He's got too much of the hero vibe to
exactly.
be a good heel.
Especially
and
when he does.
It's
also because he's a good Russian. When in wrestling, almost every Russian is bad.
He's also like number 462 on the PWI Top 500.
Mr. 462. When he comes back, you chant Mr. 462.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to hate that.
It's like it's a fake list about fake wrestler or about fake shows doing.
Oh my God, I love all the WWE marks flipping their shit that Roman was number 2. It is hilarious.
I didn't see who got number 1. I was just concentrating on
Kenny Omega.
Of course, yeah. No, that makes sense.
I mean, doesn't I said it when I was watching pay-per-view. Kenny is great in Japan. They kind of ruined him when he came to AEW.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Having our murderous monster heel back, which, let's be honest, with the exception of Casey, we don't have any good single heels.
Yeah.
Schaefer's a great heel, but he's in a tag right now.
Yeah. Sebastian's a good heel, but he's in a tag.
So we have the true hero, Casey Clay. And that's really it. And then we got, we'll talk about it later, but we pretty much made 2 heels Saturday night. We got Sky back as the murderous monstrous heel, and then we got, one we'll talk about later.
Yeah. But then it's like, so that ended with a no contest as both of them died.
Which, to be fair, that's security's fault. They were sitting there talking trash outside, saying Palmer's the greatest monster hunter ever.
You saw which one of the security it was that was doing that.
Oh, and again, some other asshole was saying kill security. I don't know who that was either, but...
But then after that, we had a tag team match, which was supposed to be, I think, a tag team title match, but it's kind of hard to do that when, unfortunately, card's subject to change.
There was still a tag title match.
Actually, it was non-title.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they said tag titles on the line.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very disappointing then, because I kind of like the idea of having a stunt double defend the tag title.
That was funny. Yeah. But Sebastian Envy could not get Michael Schaefer because of unforeseen circumstances.
Schaefer brought in a stunt double.
So Schaefer got a stunt double. Reggie Lincoln.
I was expecting someone to yell stunt cock, but they didn't. So it's an Orgasmo reference for people who don't know that.
Damn, I wish I'd thought about that, because I'd have at least leaned over and said that.
It was good to see Reggie.
Yeah, no, it was. You
have to say that right after I say stunt cock, don't you?
Tommy Dean says, listening while I'm working. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, Tommy Dean? We miss you.
We'll see you, speak to you, what have you, next week?
Maybe, possibly. Maybe, yeah. We'll get PR on that.
Yeah. But, taking on the Chili Boys, and while it was, I agree with you, the 2 best members of the Chili Boys,
which is
2 of the best members.
I was going to say, it's
there is CJ.
CJ's there. Dylan's all right. It's the other one I want to see more of. But no, I've been wanting, I guess because I've seen him against Tatum singly, and then I've seen him in a tag and new tags. I've been wanting Corey O'Neal to come in MPX for a while. So very excited to have him in there.
Yeah.
And it is, I think now that they're here enough, like we've seen them 3 times now. Okay, it's does not bother me as much as the fans cheering them, especially when they're not going against Red and Noah.
Yeah. It's like when they're going against hometown heroes kind
Right.
of thing, that's bothersome. But when they were, going up against the mega heels,
When
or the
I was gonna
mega
say,
heel,
when they're going against the top heel tag team,
yeah,
well, half of top heel tag team,
yeah.
because Reggie, not really heel.
Of course, it's like I loved watching Reggie, and he did a great job of just mugging at the camera and almost ruining the whole match for just driving Sebastian up the wall. It was fantastic storytelling there.
It was.
But at the same time, I even told you during the show, it's like all that match made me want is I want to see Corey versus Schaefer.
So as soon as Corey or as soon as Schaefer, whoever comes back first, we need that match of Schaefer and Corey. Because that's going to be amazing. And it's the Chili Boys. They're a good tag team. Mason and Corey, I think, are probably the two that work best together because they've been doing it the longest. So,
and there was something you said that night that at first I'm kind of like, I don't know, but the more I thought about it, the more you're right. The Chili Boys, that's kind of a much more face version of Menage a Trois, I guess. Family friendly.
It's a family friendly, not sexually innuendo Menage a Trois. It's like, I don't know.
I could see them coming out to NWK's Let's Start a Party. And it was just like roar.
Which I actually really wanted Remedy to come out to We Want Fun by Andrew WK. But it's one of those to where now, granted, if we give CJ a live mic, I don't know how the Chili Boys stays family friendly.
CJ comes back and gets in charge of the Chili Boys. Yeah, it's just menage. Yeah.
Try again.
Okay.
And go.
Give me a moment. And action. CJ comes back and takes over of the Chili Boys. It's going to be Menage a Trois all over again, where he just mouths off, and MPX management is like, but why though?
I love CJ with the live mic. I would love to have CJ back. I am a fan of CJ's, not only just his mic work, but also in ring. He's one of the better technical wrestlers we've had at MPX for a while. So I think it would be great. So that's why I don't pet you.
Even Rocky is saying, pet the damn dog.
And you're getting pets, but you're also in the way of the mic and my face.
I don't think he cares.
You have one hand. You don't need both. No.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Chill.
But yeah, love to have the Chili Boys back more, especially Corey and Mason Price. Wouldn't mind having Dylan back either.
Get Dylan and JP back.
Yeah, JP, that was the other one. Coolidge. Because again, I love tag teams and I love stables. And right now we've got Civil Disorder and Best Picture.
Yeah.
So, and Infinite Stock to a degree.
Yeah.
It's, been a while since we've seen Noah. I'm very glad, which spoiler, we see him next week. So I'm excited.
And honestly, it's like, whew.
It's one of those where I think, and I may be wrong, but when all is said and done, years and years and years and years from now, I think Noah is going to be one of the better ones that came out of MPX. He's one of those where, we were very hard on him to begin with, because all we heard about was the potential, the athleticism, the greatness, and how good he is. And we've seen he gets better and better. It's just, it does take some wrestlers a little longer for it to click.
And the thing is, it's very obvious with Noah that it was all a confidence issue. And the more he's worked, the more confidence he's gained, and the better he's gotten in the ring.
And that's what I think when Noah starts getting more and more opportunities, either in tag or singles, we're going to see him finally develop. And once he develops, I don't think many people are going to touch him. And that's including Casey, who everyone says is the greatest right now, which, don't get me wrong, Casey is.
Yeah.
Casey is phenomenal.
Just work on that short distance spear, please. I love you, Noah. I hate that
so much.
I hate it's just because it looks so weightless.
Remedy says, let's have some fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Always have fun.
Seeing you say soon right after seeing you last week, that was, yes.
But yeah, I think, like I said, I think when all's said and done, when everything clears years and years from now, Noah's going to be the one that a lot of people talk about of being one of the greatest to come out.
Yeah. But after that, speaking of Noah's partner, at least, Red Chambers versus Prince Adam. Holy crap, this match.
So good. And it's, again, I think, it kind of goes back to what I was saying. getting the opportunities. Red getting this opportunity to step in the ring with Prince Adam, who is one of the best wrestlers we've had in the area for a long time. We've always, we talked about it with LaMotta on Brutally Honest once, is there's something special about Adam. It really is.
Yeah.
Not even just his character and his presence, it's him in the ring. And getting that with Red, Red probably learned so much out of this match. And again, I think it was great to see Adam in. I love how we're going with the direction with Adam.
Yes.
Kind of upset that someone else uses the Prince name.
Yeah.
And
and
so
the whole is like Mr. He's like, oh, he thinks he's Mr. MPX. Well, guess what?
Which, side note, why do we have a Mr. MPX if we do not announce him as Mr. MPX?
I think that may have just been momentum
That
of previous.
really bothered me. I was like, no, can we at least... I was like, we just did a whole tournament to crown Mr. MPX, and someone wins it, and we don't even say Mr. MPX, the Mad Prince.
I think it was the fact. I think it was the fact that it was a 8-man tag, so therefore,
hopefully, whenever Mad Prince comes, it's Mr. MPX, the Mad Prince, or something like that, because it's.
Hey, production, make sure to write that on the cards too.
Will do.
Yeah, in quotations, Mr. MPX, the Mad Prince. There we go.
Well, yeah, you also got to write the reincarnation of excellent Corey Wright too.
Don't worry about that.
And
part.
the rugged Gabe Wilder.
That one okay. That was okay. That was okay. But let's not worry about that reincarnation of anything.
But it's just one of those where it's like even it doesn't even have to be like the entire year or whatever, but just at least for a couple months. It's the same with King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Like you'll have the King of the Ring, Baron Corbin, or who the fuck it is, for
But
at least a couple of months.
Okay, they work the King of the Ring into storylines, and we are getting that with.
True,
Prince
we're getting
Adam
it with
kinda.
Prince Adam and Matt Prince. So.
Honestly, I almost expected they were going to have Casey go after him instead, but Prince Adam works too.
Well, yeah, and that's probably because granted we don't know, but it seems with him defeating Frankie, Casey's going to be on the bigger things. At least I would.
What's
hope.
bigger than being Mr. MPX? Look at the previous
MPX champion, sir.
But look at the previous Mr. MPXs.
Jerome. Kenny. We have it every 3 years. We don't have a lot of them. But no, it's one of those where, who knows where we'll go with it. I obviously
I'm gonna have to ask that question of somebody. It's like, okay, if he never actually won the title, why was Frankie Mr. MPX?
Because he built the house, remember?
It's the house that Frankie built. That makes sense. But it's just like, I don't know.
I mean, in all honesty, there's only one Mr. MPX.
When it comes down to that, there is truly one Mr. MPX, and he will probably be mad when he finally watches this if we say it out loud.
That's why we're not.
Yeah.
But no, it's again, this match with Prince Adam and Red was great. I love how. Yeah, I think a lot of the addicts, were excited for Prince Adam, but then Red came out, and Red is hands down, and a lot of it. Yeah, that too. A lot of it due to
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You're my co-host. It's always there because I know where you go.
Just because I swing that way doesn't mean I'm thinking that all the time. Okay.
But
Sure.
Quiet you.
With the obvious 12 high school teenage girls right there that are louder than 85% of the crowd. They're gonna cheer for Red.
You suck,
which
Adam.
is another thing I
That's
think.
not the insult you think it is.
Going back real quick to Sky, because of the high school girls, having him attack Mikey B was the smartest move.
Jesus Crow, yeah.
Because if it's not Mikey and it's not Tatum or Red, that reaction
Mikey,
does
Tatum,
not
and Red
happen.
right now are the 3 hottest young guys at this.
Three hot young white boys.
Mm-hmm.
New stable.
Pretty young white boys. There we go.
I want my new 3 count. Damn it!
Oh God, it could work.
It can work.
Oh my God.
I just feel sorry for whoever takes the Evan Courageous role. Sorry, Mikey.
So who do we get to be Bull?
Oh,
Or
Tank.
not Bull. Tank.
Yeah.
Fuck. I always get him and Bull Buchanan mixed up.
How the fuck do you confuse those two?
Because I didn't care about them at the time, and they were just the big dude that typically stayed with other wrestlers. That's it.
Yeah, I don't.
Which that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. But no.
Yeah, who gets to be Tank then?
Fuck. Do we have anybody?
he'll kill me when he gets home.
Iron Belly.
Yeah,
That was my first thought too. I was like, yeah, it's Iron Belly, but
he's gonna kill me for that. But
but no, that's one of the things where if they hadn't, say Sky just came out after the match and attacked Chip, no one cares.
Yeah. People would be upset, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's just him showing that he's."
I think even if he came out and attacked Titan and Palmer, I don't think people would still care that much.
No, definitely.
It's the fact he went after and it's the only way it works. And again, brilliance on MPX management for realizing that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Adam and Red put on one hell of a match.
Mm-hmm.
I think Adam. I love what Adam said, where he's the best in DFW, even though he didn't really wrestle in DFW per se. He's sitting there. He's claimed DFW as his own.
DFW is my town. But then again, he also just like kicked ass at Lucha Brutal. So
yeah, he's got a new. Apparently, they have a new belt, and he got it. So, I also love his Aztec Warfare headdress he comes out with.
God. Unfortunately, just I guess because of where I was, I didn't get to see that.
So
when I saw the pictures, I'm like, "Holy shit!"
It was beautiful.
Yeah, he did it at Power Blood with Heavy Metal, their past show where he fortunately got injured. And that's why he's been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, that headpiece is great. The mask is great. Again, we can't talk enough good things about how good he is just presence-wise and charisma-wise. And then he gets in the ring, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's one of those where, Lamont had even said it, he's smooth. Like, everything is seamless to him.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I love how...
although there was one fall he took outside the ring, I almost expected a repeat of Lucha Brutal.
Yeah.
Just get up. I'm okay.
Yep. I just love...
wasn't the only one.
Again, I like how it was Red. Because I love how when our homegrown young guys get that experience with those vets that not necessarily world renowned, but definitely Texas traveled. Everybody wants Prince Adam right now, and we got him, and we gave it to Red. I think that's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And the match was good. Really curious, especially, and we'll talk about it later next week, where we're going with Red, because I'm excited. Hopefully,
yeah. This is actually it's a storyline that makes a lot of sense, and if it leads where I would take it, that's absolutely epic storytelling, and it would take a genius director to pull off. Sorry, had to put at least one of those in there. But no, with Sebastian coming up to him after the match and saying, it's like, you're never going to be that guy as long as you're the Pokemon guy.
Yep. Which, of course, everyone knew I loved.
And it's like, what's funny is it's like you have the girls all being like, shut up, Sebastian. What do you know? Oh no, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
he tried to be the Dragon Ball Z guy, and it did not work that well.
Did not work out for him. No.
Now, granted, I know more about Pokemon than Dragon Ball Z, so I guess Red's a little better off. But I'm really looking forward to see where we go, because it's one of those where, okay, yes, I don't like the gimmick of Pokemon or whatever, but it's worked.
It works
so
well.
It's one of those where it's like, I don't want it to go away, but I'm really curious to see, because I also love young wrestlers trying to figure out face heel. Like, I love seeing that transition and see how they do with it. So I would really, because we even saw it early on. Mikey B was originally supposed to be hated and heel.
The fans said no.
Yeah, and you can even tell in some of his very first promos in his very first match, he tried his best. But it's Backstreet. No one's gonna boo Backstreet.
Millennials are not gonna boo Backstreet, no matter how much they said they hated it.
Even
in the
high
90s
schoolers
and 2000s.
aren't. Which I was like, Backstreet's dead, and they're like, no, it's not. I go, it's okay. NSYNC was better. You'll learn.
Yeah, right. Sky was an NSYNC fan rather than
exactly
what you said.
Well, he's more New Kids on the Block, probably, but
yeah.
But no, Red and Adam was great. I hope we get Adam back, which we should, depending on what he said. So it's just he's one of those. He's super booked, super talented. So we'll see.
But then after that, we had the match that had you a bit confused at first, but you're like, okay, now this makes sense. The MPX Championship match of Jackson Stone taking on JD Griffey. Whew.
Which, yeah, this is one of those where I always knew it would be good, and it was great. Yes, it confused me at first because I am one of those purists that know your title has to be on last. Seeing what we did with it made total sense why it's not. Which, again, MPX management always just teaching me. I still don't like the ref. And that's just, I'm very hard on him.
Like I said, we got groused at because it's like, you guys are really, really hard on these refs. They're not going to want to come back. It's like, well, these are the refs we don't want.
Well, I'm
to
sorry.
come back.
When you give us Anthony, Carl, Howie, Bambi, and Travis to go off of, the bar's set pretty high for refs.
Yeah.
Anthony and Howie alone set
like,
that bar really
When
high.
you get the guys like Aaron and
Shiny
Ben,
Shoes and Ben, yeah.
it's like as substitutes occasionally.
Exactly.
Like, no, we don't want the dregs. We want the cream.
The bar has been set very high. And it's in a pinch, it works. It's fine. Refs are refs. I understand they're not supposed to be featured on the show, but it's something I look at. But just
from everything we've been told, he's a really nice guy, and I don't want to insult him as a person.
No, it's just
our bar for a ref is that high.
Yeah. But no, the match itself was great, and we knew it would be. These are two. You wouldn't think they're very similar, but they are. I think people tend to forget how technical Jackson is.
Yeah.
And where he trained after MPX with WXW and everything, how sacred that mat is, and how he takes a real pure look at wrestling. I don't think a lot of people would consider Jackson a pure wrestler, but he is. Like when you talk about pure wrestling, I'm talking about like the guys like Gresham and Shelley and Zack Sabre Jr., Walter. These are the guys that Jackson is a lot more like than who you would think.
Yeah.
And same with Jerome. Jerome's one of those. Yes, he's a grappler and he's MMA pretty much based, but same thing. It's pure wrestling.
Yeah.
And there was a transition. I can't even tell you what it was, but I know it was a smooth transition into a rear naked choke.
Yes.
And I want to say it was like he tried an arm drag, and then Jerome just spidered him and monkeyed him and climbed all over him to get into a rear naked choke. And I'm like, I flipped my shit. I was like, holy shit, that was smooth.
Although I will say, as soon as Jerome walked out, every line and jibe from Karate Kid came to mind. Put him in a body bag, sweep the leg. The Cobra Kai gear, just come on.
Used to be his thing. He used to come out with a body bag and put people in it. It was great. But again, this is, Jerome's one of those, and I've said it before, and I do believe it. He is arguably, but in my opinion, the greatest, most decorated MPX champion we've had. He's a 4-time champion. In some of the, and I wasn't a joke when I said it on the main line, some of the brighter years of MPX, he was the guy. He was the champion.
Yeah.
And I think people, especially newer addicts, because we haven't seen him in a while, don't realize or forget that.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like doing what we do.
If you're not an older fan or an archivist like me, you just don't really.
And that's one of the things I like doing what we do, whether people watch or not. But the people who do watch it, hopefully they realize and hear us and they go, oh, let me look him up.
Yeah.
Because Jerome was one of the, and it's, there's a lot of people, like, I hate to say it, but 2 or 3 years from now, people probably are going to forget Dave, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because Dave Sagan was one of the best things that happened.
Luckily
at
now
MPX.
we have the network to be able to show.
Right, and that's the thing. That's why I feel very adamant about telling people, no, this guy was great. No, this guy was great. And Jerome was one of those where I don't know how much old stuff's on the network, but there's bound to be some stuff of his on there. You got to find it because Jerome was great as a champion, and him and Jackson put on one hell of a match. It was great. Yeah, double count out, and I love the fight and the pull apart because it was one of those where Jerome was still very tall and Jackson was wobbly. Yeah. So I like where we're going to go with that. Hopefully we get a rematch soon.
Yeah.
The other thing I realized out of this is 2 things. 2 matches I want. I want Exodus versus Jackson, and I want Exodus versus Jerome.
Yes.
Those 2 matches, I think, hopefully get made by the end of this year because those are going to be match of the year candidates.
Oh, definitely. And this match made me realize something else, especially given what on one of the matches we saw the next night at All Out. I think Jackson's almost got more powerful chops than even Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show's very, and they're also very different. You got the overhand, which always looks like it's devastating. It's what Big Said does.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jackson who just obliterates you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sorry, Paul White. He doesn't go by
Tall Paul.
No more BS.
Tall Paul.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where, man, Jackson's one of those where, and okay, we don't know for sure, but we're almost, I would say, what, 75% sure it's his choosing not to be anywhere right now. And I think that's great for him. Now, do I feel he's one of those that would excel on any major promotion? Fucking absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
But having him here,
Like we've talked before about how he's like any big Fed would benefit from, especially from the work
just
outside
the
of
PR
wrestling
work
he does.
alone.
Yeah.
And the things he does for independent wrestling is amazing. And same with Jerome. Jerome's one of those independent wrestlers that, man, that guy should be everywhere.
Yeah.
And luckily we still have them right now in Texas. Everything opening back up, I would be very shocked if they aren't.
And
places
there's
soon.
your danger.
Hi.
I love how everybody just comments about how much, it's like, oh yeah, she's cute, but dangerous.
Yeah, y'all don't understand the claws that go into me when I try to leave.
She is made of razors. Okay. But yeah, no, honestly, having them in Texas still is, it's kind of a blessing on its own.
It really is, especially because there was a lot of rumors last year that someone was in Florida for the longest time. So that was kind of glad that he's back. But, and it's one of those, I wish everyone well. I think it's very hard to say because the money obviously would be great, but to go to the E with everything you've seen recently with people, look at Ruby when she came out. And if y'all haven't watched All Out, go watch All Out.
God, yes.
Watch when Ruby comes out. Watch when Punk comes out. Watch when Danielson comes out. You see Cole. You see them smile. They are happy.
Oh God, I seriously thought that Jericho was going to be retiring on Sunday because he had tears in his eyes watching the fans sing his music for him. It's like, that is a rock star exit if I've ever seen one. But no, it's just the fact that he loved it so much.
Yeah. It's one of those where and I've always heard from other wrestlers who have gone tryouts in the E and stuff like that, it's pretty much they break you down mentally and physically. And some can excel in it. Seth Rollins is one of those I never thought would excel when he was Tyler Black. Yeah. And you look at it and he has. And he's become their guy. And probably will retire there. And that's fine. Some can do that.
Yeah. And there's no shame in that.
No, there's not. If you can excel and do that, do it. Because let's be honest. Yes, it's all pro wrestling, but there's a difference in sports entertainment and pro wrestling. Yeah. And what WWE has is sports entertainment.
The level of corporatism in the environment.
It is. And it's also a machine. Yeah. Because it's next person up, it's do this, do that, to where it's at least, and we may be wrong because again, we don't really know shit. We're just fans. Yeah. AEW seems to have the mindset of, oh, this is hot right now, let's go with this. Oh, people like this, let's go with this.
They shell out the money to get the people's indie music rather than have
we didn't get Final Countdown.
That's true. But then I think that may have been more just the fact that they wanted the recognition than.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't know that people would have instantly recognized Final Countdown.
And I love, there was a tweet that's like, guys, y'all are flipping out over Danielson's music. His real music is, you're going to get your fucking head kicked in. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, touche.
That is true. Yeah.
But no, you see the excitement in them. So it's one of those where, yeah, a lot of people will look at it as a bad thing that WWE didn't pick you up. It's not. It's their talents will be suited elsewhere in ROH, in MLW, in AEW, even just doing all the independents. It's one of those where you no longer have to just be WWE or break. There's so many other options, and I think that's great. And there's a lot of them. We talked with Dimitri. Would he turn down WWE? Absolutely not. But is that his dream? No. His dream is Japan. Yeah. And I think a lot of wrestlers are kind of like that. Like, I think Jackson's one of those where, would he turn down an E contract? Absolutely not. Does he really want to go there? Probably not. Yeah. And again, we don't know. That's not, it's just me speculating.
The money and exposure they offer you as a possibility to get signed at the E. Anybody who steadfastly says, I would never sign with WWE is a damn fool.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, we talk all this shit, but if they were like, hey, we want you to cover, okay, cool. Like, you pay me, I'll do it. But it's one of those where and again, I'm not bad mouthing WWE. I've watched WWE my entire life. If it wasn't for WWE, I probably wouldn't be a wrestling fan. I think a lot of people our age will say that. Now, growing up and seeing different things, yeah, it's not necessarily my favorite. I still follow it. Yeah. But it's not my favorite. I'm more into the Japanese style, the grappling British style, the hardcore style.
Mhm.
These are things we're not really getting on WWE. So,
Yeah.
but again, these two men, Jackson and Jerome, they're destined for great things in wrestling. And it's one of those where it's like, I'm going to be sad when they leave because I know it's going to happen eventually.
Yep.
But while we get them now, fucking enjoy it.
Yeah. But moving on from there to the main event, Civil Disorder versus Tatum Manning, the Mad Prince, Johnny O'Mara, and Ryan Remington.
One of these is not like the other.
I know, right? It's like,
But this is one of those where it's going back. I kind of alluded to it. You see how some people can do face and some do heel, and Ryan's one of those. I think he has struggled being a face before. I mean, his title run, he pretty much was all face.
Yeah.
And the Addicts didn't really take to it, but that's also because he was coming off Jamie.
He was coming off of Jamie, and
but
also there was the whole problem of every time they tried to set up a heel for him to have a rivalry with for any length of time, something happened.
Yeah, and it's same thing, and it's your only. I mean, I think. Piper said it, and he may have just said it to say it, but I think it was also true. Without Piper in '80s, you wouldn't have how good Hulk Hogan was.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have WrestleMania. Like, you have to have a good heel to be a good face, really, and especially champion face. And yeah, Ryan was kind of always marred by that. But again, some are just natural, which is crazy because of knowing him. He's not a natural heel. But he works better that way.
Yeah.
Because even then it's kind of, there's awkward moments here and there. So it'll be interesting to see, because again, like I had always said, even before he came out, like I told you, I was like, because we had heard rumors here and there, oh, Ryan will come back and they'll be face, him and Tommy both.
Yeah.
And we're like, it depends who they go against, but we'll see.
Oh, did you hear Exodus calling out your boy?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, the whole third best Tommy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What? No, that's the Tommy. But I think it's going to be interesting to see where Ryan can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we had said even before he came out, and I was like, the only reason it's going to work is if he goes against Exodus.
Yeah.
Or with Best Picture being as heel as they are.
Yeah.
If him and Tommy were to come back as a tag. If him and
Tommy were to come back as a tag and go up against Best
That
Picture,
probably would work too.
As tiresome as it did get that they were MPX Tag Team Champions for so long, they are a great tag team, and it's like I could see them being, top faces as well as top heels.
Love the new look. Love the new gear. Was amazing. Definitely new shirt. Go pre-order it.
Oh yeah.
But the match stuff was good. It was laid out perfect. It was one of those where they did enough quote unquote dissension with Civil Disorder to not oversell and over push the dissension.
They made it very obvious that the dissension's really just a grudge between two guys.
It's just Exodus and Brixton.
Gabe and Curry are like, we just want to fucking win the
match. Can we? I think it was even Gabe's like, guys, focus on the match.
Speaking of which, I want to get in front of this before this happens. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, Gabe Wilder was doing Go to Sleep before CM Punk came back.
No, his is called Go to Sleep, bitch.
Yeah, but still. I promised.
Well, if we're going to go into that, I mean, Kenta was doing it before all of them, so.
But it's like I promised Gabe that would be one of my agendas after CM Punk, won that match with Darby Allin. It's like, nope. Okay, next on my agenda.
A phenomenal picture of CM Punk doing it at the Darby. Looked great. And again,
I remember
great pictures of Gabe. I think it was Purple Rain where he hit Tommy. Brian took a fucking phenomenal picture. Yeah.
But it's like I remember when Darby Allin first came up on the first episode of AEW, and I'm sitting here like, it's like, oh wow, it's like, Jason Silver, but not. And then I watched this match with CM Punk. I'm like, no, really, it's fucking holy shit.
No, it is.
They're twins.
It's Sting and Jeff Hardy had a baby, and it became Darby Allin.
Yeah.
So, but this again, I thought this match laid out great. I thought it teased the dissension enough, and like you said, it pointed out that it's not all of Civil Disorder. It is literally just Exodus and Brixton.
Yeah.
which I thought was great, and the fact that the end where Exodus hits the mass Exodus
Daddy,
on
stop
Omar
fighting.
really is.
Yeah.
Exodus hit mass Exodus on Omara to pin, and Ryan's tapping out
And
Brixton.
what I loved about that is the fact that it showed that, of everybody that was in the match, the only person who was really just aware of everything going on was Exodus. Because you had, Brixton and Gabe and Kari, they were all concentrating. I think Brixton was, dealing with...
Wasn't Brixton the one tapping the Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were, he was going up against Ryan, and they each thought that they were the legal man. And Exodus, Johnny's like, no, I'm waiting on my moment. Nexus is like, I'm legal now.
Yep, I
He's
got your
the legal
moment.
man.
Boom.
Fuck yeah.
And I love how, at the pin, he's literally just staring down Ryan. And I think Ryan was one of those where he knew, but he's like, screw it. I'm going to hold this on to prove a point. And I thought it was great. It was very great tag work. Blind tags and everything was amazing. Again, it's one of those where I know people are probably sick of hearing me say it, but I think Gabe truly is he's breaking out.
He really is.
He's one of those that people probably kind of look at him as an afterthought, but I think in a couple months, he's going to be the guy. Like, he's going to be one of those where people are realizing, oh, Gabe's one of the best ones we have here. Not even just heel work or in-ring work. He's going to be one of the best ones we have.
Yeah.
I think and I hate to say, but when Civil Disorder finally is done, which I hope is at least 3 more months, give or take.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
The end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. I think when all is said and done, yes, Exodus obviously is going to be where he's going to be, because we know Exodus is, like I've said, he's the MVP of MPX this year. And I think right behind him is going to be Gabe. I had said the prospect tournament was his chance to break out, and it was. And I think he's going to continue to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Kari, who is phenomenal. Brixton, who was great.
The coattail rider stuff is a joke.
No, people think you're serious. People think you hate Kofi. I don't get it. But no, the match itself I thought was great, and it's one of those where it's crazy because we didn't realize it until he talked about it. But yeah, Tatum, I guess, kind of is the faction killer, so to speak. Yeah. We didn't realize it.
We did point out that Infinite Stock, every time that they would face the tag team and beat them, the tag team seemed to break up.
That's just a curse. That's not a faction killer. I mean, that's like saying, Schaefer always breaks up his team. So,
I mean, that's not.
Well, I mean, it's
call that a curse. That's just a.
I mean, it's going to happen wherever Sebastian. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen.
Sebastian's going to get tired of.
You're going to say Sebastian's going to cause it. It's not going to be Schaefer this time.
I don't know which one it's going to be. I just know it's going to explode.
Remedy says, I faced ACH but lost to Wes.
When the hell was Wes? Forgot about that one. I guess that was that Wes's title reign?
Yeah, that was. It's like that had to be during 2020. Obviously, it was during 2020.
Towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2020 is mostly a blur.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and we're, 3 months away from 2022? Fuck.
Yeah.
God, we've had Remedy that long.
Yeah. And it's
crazy. No, it's a great thing. It feels like we've only had them maybe 5 times, and I guess we've had them way more.
Yeah, we have.
It was Fearless.
Last Fearless?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got this Fearless.
Yeah.
But, speaking of which, segue. But Fearless this Saturday. The matches that have been announced are really, really interesting because Sky's going to go finish the job that he started last week.
Well, he's hungry for a chip.
Yeah. That was my joke last week, sir.
I didn't hear. I do love Chip's new gear that he posted.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't wear it on your murder day Saturday, but no, I'm very excited to see where we go with Chip because, like I said, last week he proved that was the best we've ever seen him. So
he proved himself on that one.
Yeah,
just straight up and down, proved himself.
And then, like I said, the amount of air him and Sky got on that at Death by Stereo, it's going to be hard to top it. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, look at the air that he got with Casey. So
true.
And then after that, we're going to have Sebastian versus Red Chambers. And I'm looking for this one, forward to this one, because it is the start of this storyline.
Because of Sebastian.
It's a storyline that makes sense, though.
And we've done this before on our show. We've pushed our own storyline, and it is not what they went with. So this made what you're talking. The storyline you're talking about may not be what they're even thinking. They're like,
that is
no,
true.
It's just a singles match between Red and Sebastian. There's nothing to this.
Yeah.
I do love the back and forth they go on Facebook though. It's been great.
Catching those L's.
Yep. Which I'm assuming that's what you're going to say happens Saturday. He's going to catch an L.
We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Hey, I'm not going to deny Red's talent. He could pull it off. I don't think he will. Because this is Sebastian.
Of course.
But, you know,
that's Sebastian without his leading man.
He's not just taking on Gary here. He's not just taking on some gym leader. This is Elite Four shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about.
Those that do, they'll know. They'll know.
But Red's got a Charizard, right? Like that's the sacred one.
That's the good one. Charizard didn't do anything for Ash in the Elite Four. He still lost.
Don't know and don't care.
But no, actually, I'm really looking forward to this match because we've seen glimmers of it during the tag matches that they've had. Honestly, getting to see Red, put himself out there one-on-one against Sebastian, and with as good as Sebastian is, it's going to be a hell of a showcase.
It is, and we've seen Red go into very stiff encounters before, and Sebastian, obviously, from your own personal experience,
watch out for that knee.
Very hard hitting. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Red deals with it. But yeah, it's going to be a great match. It's one of those where we have. It's weird to say that he is a good vet in Sebastian. Many people don't think he's been around that long. He has been. And we've got Red, who, again, coming off a loss from Adam, but also learning a shit ton in that match. We'll see how we put it all together. It'll be great.
Yeah. Then we're also going to have two members of Civil Disorder, Top Flight, or Prime Flight.
Yeah, no, sir, that name's taken. You can't say that.
Yeah. Well, okay, Top Flight is taken. Prime Flight is not.
Yeah, but they're not Prime Flight here. They're
Exodus
Civil Disorder.
Kari Wright, this is taking on a father and son.
Reincarnation of excellence, Kari Wright.
I'm not saying
it's the greatest moniker we have. I really do love it.
Says the person who all but refuses to say catastrophically charismatic Casey Clay.
Because that's too much. And that's not a great moniker. The true hero of MPX is a better moniker.
That's a better moniker. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just saying.
Well, let's be honest. Nothing ever beats Mr. The Match of the Night. Which,
exactly.
Who came up with that?
Dude, I live vicariously. I'm pride. It's like I have pride vicariously through you on that one.
I'm shocked it's actually lasted this long.
Yeah.
And the fact that they keep putting it on shirts and gear, I'm like, holy shit, that's
shirts,
amazing.
Gear, entrance, and then he goes and proves it anyway.
I know. So I'm super excited that that's actually stuck. My Saturday night delight of Tommy Becker did not stick, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. But speaking of Ryan, like I said, they're going to be taking on the father-son duo of Stephen Kirby and Ryan Remington. First time they've tagged in a while.
I was going to say, if ever.
Well,
I mean, I know they've probably teamed before.
Yeah, it's like I know they teamed back when Creative was in control.
Oh, that's right. Because, it was the Greatest Human Being Alive with the Impact Players. Yeah, true.
Which is where the whole Ryan calling him dad started.
Well, no, that started in training. It just got known to all the addicts during that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like this one, I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, wow, this looks like a great matchup. I'm so sorry for Kari.
Sir, why do you hate Kari
I
so
don't
much?
hate Kari, but I'm just looking at it as like, okay, you've got Exodus Prime and
I could see it going the same way it went last time, where one's pinning, he's pinning Kirby and Ryan's tapping out Kari, and they're just staring at each other.
Yeah. And it's like, but think about how you said that. Exodus is going to pin Kirby.
Yeah.
And Ryan's going to have Kari in a submission hold and just,
I mean, yeah, it's going to happen,
but I'm so sorry, Kari.
But of course, management will prove us wrong, and it'll probably be Kari pinning
Kirby.
Yeah,
Kari gets the clean pin on.
Exodus and Ryan are busy, and Kirby takes the pin. Who knows? But this is something that me and you personally have wanted a long time is, Prime Flight to be a team.
Yeah, finally get these two as a tag team in MPX.
Again, it's Civil Disorder. It's not Prime Flight. It is Civil Disorder.
The Prime Flight duo
of Civil Disorder.
Yeah.
Going
From
against,
Civil Disorder.
like you said, against son and dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great. And again, it's one of those where yes, you have a great tag team that has tag team experience with Ryan or with Kari and Exodus,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got Ryan, who is a phenomenal tag team guy with Tommy,
Mm-hmm.
and Kirby, who's had numerous great tag partners. So
Yeah.
this
And
is going to be
these
a
two, it's like
phenomenal.
those two can know each other well enough. They'll be able to, it'll be like nothing for them.
This is going to be a great tag match.
Mhm.
Kind of curious if they can do the 4K with Kirby, or maybe it's what's that one with the sidewalk slam to the big boots?
Yeah.
Kirby coming off the top with the big boot. Come on, it'll be great.
No, he does a Kirby bomb into the sidewalk slam,
There we go.
and Kari is going to die
Poor Kari.
because Exodus is going to be the wily one and be like, "Nope, I ain't getting in that."
And then Brixton
But then
comes
again,
by
I
and
was going
throws
to
him
say,
in.
but that all depends on whether Brixton versus Tatum happens first, or how that one ends, because
Which
that's
it
the next match.
It is a little. I mean, I get it because we're already building to it, but
Mhm.
having Brixton, the former MPX champion, what some would say the leader of Civil Disorder,
Mhm.
which
Well, he
I mean,
said it.
we all kind of know who the leader is,
Yeah,
but
man.
having him go against Tatum right off is a little, yeah. You think it would be building to those, so you would get, Tatum versus Kari, Tatum versus Brixton, Tatum versus Exodus,
I
and
think
then
there
Tatum
actually would have
versus
been a
Gabe.
bigger argument
So,
for Brixton being the leader of Civil Disorder if Eden Grace hadn't disappeared.
sir, no. Do not mention her name, because I know as soon as you say her name, she's gonna appear again. It's like fucking Candyman. You're gonna say it 3 times and she'll be there.
The thing is, it's like she's not bad when she's there. She's great when she's there.
But that's the problem. She hasn't been there.
Yeah,
So.
that would be the problem.
It's Brixton Tatum's gonna be great. It's just one of those where we go from Brixton being undefeated and one of the most protected to now
Mhm.
might suffer like a 5th straight loss. It seems like a lot for a downfall. And again, it could be a very good downfall to a good rise.
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
Mhm.
Case in point, Dimitri was one of those.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. I mean, part of me is like, oh yeah, Tatum will beat him, and Tatum will go on to keep fighting Civil Disorder. But then you have that other side that's like, oh, well, of course Civil Disorder going to interfere, and Tatum's going to lose.
Yeah.
Because we continue it.
Which is just going to make Tatum even more angry and continue that story.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see where we go. Either way, it's going to be a great match.
Oh, yeah.
Tatum,
wear your chop-proof shirt.
Tatum's finally, I think, not that he was overshadowed by Dave, because they weren't. They were both kind of prominent. Tatum's going to finally breaking out from Menage a Trois, finally breaking out from Dave, best friend. We're finally going to see the superstar and the MPX golden boy Tatum Manning as he always should have been.
Yeah.
Now that he had his fun with Dave, now that, him and Menage a Trois are done, we're finally going to see, the golden boy in Tatum Manning. And it's going to be interesting to see where we go, because it's one of those where it's like, part of you is like, yeah, let's go ahead and put him in the MPX title. We're like, let's do a build. Why not? I mean, say Ryan doesn't do against Exodus, Tatum versus Exodus. Who better to be?
Last time they went one-on-one, it was Tatum that walked away with the belt still.
Who better to free the Addicts title than one of the ones who held it the most?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same reason.
He won with the most reigns.
It's the same argument we have with Ryan. He was one of the best Addicts champions there is.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have him free it?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm petting
Skip
you.
says, thanks for putting my stepson over.
Who's a stepson?
Hey,
Tatum.
Skip.
Yeah, who's your stepson here?
I was gonna say, is it Tatum? Aren't you all the same age?
I think that might be the joke. But yeah, no, this match is actually going to be. I'm looking forward to this match. But we're also have our also appearings. I think we're going to finally get Johnny's first title defense of the Prospect Championship.
Yep.
Which actually, I'm really glad with how it ended. With the 8-man match last week, because it's like it wasn't just one of the other guys from Civil Disorder randomly pinning Johnny. It was the champion on Civil Disorder side beating the champion on the other side. And so it's like, that's just...
Which, I mean, I think it was even you when they announced it. I go, oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. I mean, we kind of knew what was going down. But again, the finish to that match made everything perfect.
Yeah.
Just the fact that, one, the finish itself of Exodus catching Johnny out of nowhere.
I'm hoping we get more, like a good number of defenses for Johnny before they take it off him. Or at least,
I feel like we've seen it with prospect title before. It's usually 2, unless you've got someone who's very believable. And no disrespect to Johnny, don't necessarily know we get to 3 or 4 with Johnny. And I may be
we got to 4 with legs,
which was kind of a shock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those where maybe they could, but we've seen it with prospect title before. It's usually quote unquote hot potatoed until we finally have a guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I was torn. I was like, man, I really want Gabe to go 4 and then maybe cash in and lose, and then we have another type of tournament to get the title back. But you knew it wasn't going to happen. We just got the title back. There's no way the first guy is going to go all the way.
Unless that was the story, like with
Casey.
Yeah. In which it's like, we're just going to have him just go, shotgun his way through it and then lose it after that. And then we'll just put it back out there again.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing I love about the prospect title. It's one of those where we have a secondary title, but we don't always see it because guess what? It's kind of, hidden sometimes.
Yeah.
Skip says it's Tatum.
Yeah. Tatum,
Kyle follows my Twitter, so he should know.
I should, but I don't. You know how many Twitters I follow and how many things I just like?
Twitter's a cesspool. I refuse to ever go back.
Sometimes it is. When something bad in the wrestling world happens, stay away.
Ooh, yeah. Like, who is the main character of Twitter today?
Well, right now it's everyone flipping over the PWI 500, which sometimes is funny.
There's, what? Actually, I didn't get to see one of my favorite sports on or one of my favorite games for this last weekend. Which is fans complaining about the wrestling show, and then workers complaining about the fans complaining about the wrestling show. That didn't happen. Everybody
because All Out was perfect.
Yeah, All Out was fucking amazing. So we didn't see that. So of course PWI had to fill that in for us.
Exactly. They had to release everything early.
Yeah.
Skip agrees that it is a cesspool.
Yeah. But we're also going to have Casey Clay there, and we're going to have the Iron Belly there, and we're going to have we've got Thorn,
which is Iron Belly, is it not?
Huh?
What's Iron Belly's first name?
Thane.
Oh, I thought they were Thorn. Thought they both were Thorn. I thought that was weird. I was like, wait.
I had made jokes about him being Lizzie Thorne's little brother or something like that, but I cannot remember what his.
Thorn the Hunter or something.
Yeah, it's Thorn the Hunter now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thorn the Hunter is going to be there. Noah's going to be there. This is going to be interesting to see who goes where.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm excited to see Noah kind of hopefully take another step in breaking out. Because I do believe it. I do think from everything we've heard and things we've seen in glimpses, I think Noah can be one of the best ones to ever come out. And
maybe Thorn versus Noah.
That's what I kind of was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like, it's either him or Casey, I would think, but who knows?
Yeah, but it's like, honestly, I don't want to see Casey versus Noah again
because we've seen it so many times.
Until there's gold on the line.
Yeah,
and then have that be the the war between the two of them, bring up the history, all that stuff. But then again, I'm a continuity whore, so
good old Brett versus Owen.
Just Noah, don't ever get on a rafter.
Sir.
That's true. MPX management wouldn't make him do something that dangerous.
We don't have the space to do something that dangerous. We saved that for Silver.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm. This is going to be a good lineup.
Yes, it is. It's one of those where it's everyone's always kind of the Purple Rain hangover or whatever you want to call it, and MPX. We've talked about it before. We have 4 big shows of the year, blah blah blah. Yet it seems MPX this year of 2021 is always kind of proved us wrong. They're like, no, we're gonna have one every fucking month.
Yeah.
And guess what? You may never know which one it is.
Yeah, it's like 'cause we had like 2 in August. Like, what the fuck?
Right. So again, it just proves you need to be there every week. Especially now, the network's not where it needs to be.
It's
Still
an-
there. Still
yeah.
watch it.
It's like still watch it because it is still updating
do it
on
live.
Fridays. Live is taking a bit more.
So it just means you
You'll
need
get
to be
that figured
there.
out. It'll get figured out.
Yeah.
There are so many computer guys who work with MPX.
Mhm.
It'll get figured out somehow.
Exactly. And it, again, though, it just and it's, yes, it is my own personal belief. There's nothing better than live wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Brian Danielson who said it best, is like,
You're gonna have I had that same problem. First time I met him, it was Brian Danielson.
Yeah,
but
I know.
now it's years and years.
It's Dragon. The American Dragon said, like, it was the post conference for AEW. He goes, "You show anyone good wrestling, really good wrestling, nothing fucking beats it."
Exactly.
And that's what he wants to do. Like, he even joked. He goes, CM Punk said he wants to help all the young people. No, I want to fucking beat them.
Yeah.
Like, it's great because it really is a two tales of difference. It is Punk trying to get back in the wrestling and be like, no, I'm older, I want to help the younger guys. And then you got Dragon who goes, no, I was held down for fucking years. I want to prove I'm still the best in the world.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's going to be great to see where they go. But that quote, and it's the same thing with Max Landis on that video years and years and years ago.
Before he got called out as a creep.
Yeah. When wrestling's done right, and I mean really done right, there's nothing better on the fucking planet, and there really isn't.
Hell, John Oliver.
I was going to say,
it's like
you
my favorite
posted
gift.
it, yeah.
It's like, I've got that gift that I post all the fucking time. Wrestling is better than the things you like.
And it is. When done right, it is. And
hell, there's a guy called Super Eye Patch Wolf who did his own love letter video to wrestling. He told the story of Kenny Omega and the Golden Lovers, like beginning to end and everything like that. And it's like, I didn't get a chance to watch that actually on TV, but he is like telling the story of it. I'm sitting there going, damn, that's good.
Yes.
Damn, I love wrestling.
And that's the thing, like I said, with, like, you know, going back to it, MPX does that. MPX is good wrestling. Maybe there's been one time in the 4 or 5 years I've gone to MPX where I'm like, it didn't live up to my expectation. And that's maybe one time. And even then, there's usually one match I'm like, oh, it was worth it. Yeah,
and it's like, for me, it's usually the shows themselves are usually net positives. It's usually it's like, if there's something wrong, it's a match and something went wrong.
Or the addicts.
Or the addicts are just like, for some reason, they're fucking dead in their seats and just like, why am I tired?
Right.
This is not right.
Which that's, I think, my favorite thing about Ernie and his crew coming is I know they're going to have to be the really loud one.
The show has actually gotten a whole lot.
It really has, because it's fun. It is fun to go back and forth with
and
people.
It's like I kind of get a little annoyed at the guys who sit on the other side and
they make me laugh.
But I get a little annoyed because it's the whole thing of chanting should not be, or chanting or rooting for the wrestlers should not be about making it about yourself. Don't try to be part of the show.
Yeah.
And it feels a little like that, but at the same time, it's interaction in the show.
Yes. And
I love that even the girls, they're not like one, monolithic fan section.
Right.
They will argue with each other.
That's actually what I enjoy more, is the fact when they argue with each other. And it's always great.
It's not like the Tater Club where it's the Pretty White Boy Club.
Right. Because they do have their ones where they're universally for. Mikey, obviously.
Yeah.
But then there are the ones where they kind of split on. I can't remember the match where they're split on.
It was our... Oh, God.
I can't remember who it was, because even the camera... Even the camera girl was like, really? Him? Yeah. And she's like, yeah. Oh, it was so great.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and even she was like, okay, I guess. Yeah. If that's who you like. So it's going to be interesting. And it's one of those where I am a little sad. And the only reason, and it is very personal that I'm sad that Sky's healed, because now I truly am going to be the only one saying Sky's going to kill you. And then I'm going to have Ernie's girl say, no, he's not.
Welcome back to my side of the world where, you're the only one cheering for that one heel.
And that's okay. We've always got Lugo. He chills for every heel.
Yeah. The ultimate heel mark.
I was going to say, I think Tatum is the only one he's actually followed into face.
And Malico.
Yeah, he did follow
They are
Malico,
the first family of the Mad World. Regardless of if he's Malico or Keegan, they are the first family of the Mad World.
Akazam.
Azkaban.
But no, and Marcus. I guess he followed Marcus both ways too.
Yeah, that's true. okay, it's hard not to.
I was going to say, Margaret's too goddamn entertaining where he's face or heel.
It's like you want to boo him because he's the bad guy, but at the same time, it's just like...
Or he says outlandish shit when we're in San Antonio and he talks shit about Selena. It's like, motherfucker, what are you doing?
Man is a heat magnet. He knows what he's doing. I remember that time that he got Brent so mad at him that Brent was about to fucking kill him, and everybody else is like, you realize this is all a work, bro.
Right.
Congratulations, you marked out.
That's when it's good.
That's how you know how good he is.
Like when I got people actually mad, I'm like, God, I'm joking, right?
Right? Yeah. Or when you'll get those messages, would you fucking lay off?
No, my favorite is the one where it's like, no, it's cool, do it. And then a week later, what the fuck you burying me for? Bro, you told me to go with it.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm sorry. Bipolar ass. Yeah, it happens. It's wrestling.
He was also upset at other things at the time.
That is very
that's,
true.
It's like, that's kind of forgivable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no.
We're talking in code. No one knows who the fuck we're talking.
No, exactly. Those who know. And they'll figure it out soon.
Oh, and then I'll get back to him and be like, talking shit about me? No! It's like people clipping shit. Oh, you said... I said it, but it's out of context. God damn it.
You say our show sucks. No, we said your show isn't going on right now.
Right. The only show I said suck is SWE, all right?
Speaking of which, September 25th, we're gonna be
God, what?
we're gonna be kind of doing a double work ourselves.
Yeah, I don't. And now, granted, we're not doing it like Mercer, but
oh shit, Mercer. Everybody's trying to take the new Iron Man of Texas.
Hey, Dimitri's still got that. This
hell,
weekend,
even Red's working on that. 52 matches in 52 weeks, and he is close.
Nice.
Yeah.
But, before we get into what you're going to talk about in Terrell, best of luck to Dimitri, TPI this weekend.
Yes, the Ted Petty Invitational. I'm so looking forward to that.
He's going to fucking kill it. I can't wait to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Gary J is going to be... And I've seen Dimitri go in hardcore and death matches. I think he's going to be sore from this match alone with Gary J than a match with Masada and a match with Paro. Like,
see, this is one of those things where I really want to
great.
win the lottery so we can make this a viable business and everything.
So we could go to the
So
TPI
we
with
go
him.
to TPI and be like, "Hey Cole, here's a cameraman. Here's the gear, and we're gonna go to TPI and cover that. See you later, bro." Watch him be like, "You assholes."
I was gonna say Cole's got to actually go to MPX first.
Yeah, he's got to get the night off first.
Yeah. Plan C has to show up.
Speaking of which, somebody has told me that we should get him here with us for a rehab show, which I'm all for, but he has to have a Thursday night off first.
Is it his number one fan?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Which I have to say, I have one thing to say. If you happen to be watching, Becky Two Belts.
By the way, Mad Prince says we had 55 in a year.
God damn.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. It's like, but then again, he's like, you got these people who are like, I wrestled like hundreds of matches in a year. It's like, well, okay, cool.
You got some wrestlers, I forgot when it was. I think it was last year around Purple Rain. There was like 3 shows, and there was a certain wrestler who wrestles at MPX a lot, worked all 3 shows.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
He's like, how are you standing? What the fuck?
Well, that just, he had monsters to hunt.
Yeah.
And when you're that good.
Yeah. I was like, there is a reason he's a legend.
Yeah. My first MPX champion.
But, honestly, Terrell, Texas. We got the Legacy Showdown. Pull the trigger. I'm looking forward to that because of everybody that's going to be there. And then there's the Skip Invitational, I guess. The Skip Open
I threw
Challenge.
my name in there. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not, though.
I don't know. I was like, I pointed the Iron Belly that way. See if he can kill Skip. Wrestle Skip.
You're all about pushing others. I push myself.
Well,
let's be honest. I could last a minute with Skip.
You might survive a Skip match. You'll probably still lose.
I just gotta get with Sky and be like, hey, what is Skip's weakness? You son of a bitch!
I'm so glad you don't have a mic.
Oh, I was just gonna punch him in the dick, but fuck, that's way worse.
All he's got to do though is pull out that Air 5 and you're doomed.
Oh fuck! I wish he would still do that.
Yeah.
I understand why people don't want to take it.
Like, holy crap.
Mad Prince says the opponent was just announced.
Oh, it was. Oh, man. Okay. So look for.
Can Mad Prince tell us so we don't, look like fools right now?
Too late.
Damn.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Well, we said fools. Is it the King of Fools?
Oh, don't get my hopes up like that, man.
Now I just crushed all your dreams.
Yeah, I know. It's like, Byron, what?
But yeah,
who's it?
Tag match is going to be really good. Bible Club.
Oh man, and it's like the whole card actually looks really good. Chris Cruz is going to be there.
Skip Terrific versus Texas Red.
Sorry, Skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Davidson.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
Ricky Bear Davidson. Okay.
Sorry, Skip.
Yep.
Shouldn't have made an open challenge.
Yep.
I mean, he thought he was safe in doing an open challenge because Sky was busy.
Yeah.
So he's like, Sky's got Mercer. I'm good. Those two guys, I'm good. I can survive anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not surviving Texas Red. I'm sorry.
But did Chris Cruz cancel? Or did you think I said Chris Carter?
No, Chris Cruz was supposed to be in the tag match with Bible Club, and they got pulled. Chris Cruz and Adrian Cruz aren't there.
Oh.
I forgot who replaced them.
I must have missed that one.
It's another top tag team. I don't remember who though.
Okay.
I don't know why my mind's going blank.
Oh. For some reason I missed
You really
that
should
update.
write this shit down,
I missed the update. I didn't even see that. But yeah, no. The whole thing on September 25th, and of course we got MPX after that, which that's going to be a fun drive.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, luckily Carl likes us all and promises everyone to be there in time.
Yeah.
Seeing as
I
how
was
there's
like,
a shitload of talent.
we're not the only ones who are working both shows. The ones who are
Horsepower
actually
was the replacements.
Huh?
Horsepower.
Horsepower.
That's right.
Okay, that's a good combo.
And then you got, looks like Prince Adam and Max Beckett.
Yeah.
Vert Vixen and some Victoria Mosh.
I don't know who that is.
And then
I know who Vert is, and I'm very happy to see her there. But
DJ Tony Snow and Keith Roberts.
Sweet, we're gonna see Tony. That's gonna be awesome.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good fun.
Mm-hmm.
We need to actually say hi to him and shit this time.
Yeah, well, it's like we'll actually get to see him because it's like Keegan has come down a couple of times, and it's like no Tony. I'm just like, bro.
He's still mad at us for the SWE talk.
Yeah. Probably. I mean,
it was nothing against him.
Yeah,
we actually, you were the bright spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, come on, he's working this show, and we're going to be talking up Legacy, so But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Don't know what's going to happen on MPX that night, but we'll find out soon, and we'll talk about that when it happens. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Comment on. It's like we're going to post this to Facebook and everything like that. Comment on that. And yeah, let us know who you think is going to win, especially the Brixton versus Tatum one, because
really, you're going to ask the addicts who they want or think is going to win?
Yeah.
There's 5 people that'll say Brixton, and 2 of them are in this room. So
that's true. That's true.
But no, it's going to be, again, great showing, great card. But again, tomorrow. First game of the NFL.
Yep.
Go Cowboys.
Yep, because some of us are, chronic masochists when it comes to football teams.
You like the Lions. You're way worse.
I said some of us.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do with Jared Goff there, buddy.
I'm just hoping something happens.
Oh, something will happen. You might have another 0-16 or 0-17 year this time.
Yeah. But no, it's like if it's an 0-17 year, then it's like
you're still in the history books, damn it.
Yep. But
Tommy Dean says, "Talk to you next week, lads."
Yes, definitely. Looking forward to that. Yeah. So yeah, definitely tune in next week because
the second most athletic Tommy in MPX.
I don't know.
1B.
How athletic can you be on crutches?
Oh. Don't challenge. We're going to get video of the Tom and Becker doing something stupid on crutches. Be like, yep, that's Jay's fault.
Yep, sorry.
And Skip says, "Go Cowboys."
There you go, Skip.
Either
maybe
way,
you'll survive. Maybe you'll survive Big Red now.
Get your tickets
Texas
for
Red,
Fearless. And for
Big Red, Texas Red.
Yeah. Get your tickets for Pull the Trigger. and get the network, because they may not be doing live, but they're still putting it up on Fridays. Network.mpxwrestling.com.
And go
Watch
rewatch
it.
Purple Rain. It's one of the greatest
yeah,
shows they've
definitely.
ever put on.
Oh yeah, we still need to do that thing.
Oh, watch along.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing else I'm doing right now, so.
Tommy Dean says, "Lol, you're cute, Kyle."
Aw, thanks.
But either way, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Gotch be with you.
See y'all Saturday.
Mark out. Button.